at Pomerance in the San Gabriel Valley, not far from Cal Poly Pomona, and we are joined by one of the associate deans from that institution. Her name is Dr. Iris Levine. It's so good to meet you. Associate Dean of the College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences.
Yes, that's correct.
And I'm glad have you here because we think of Cal Poly Pomona as a very science-driven institution, right. And it is,
right.
But there's still Letters, Arts, and Sciences. Talk to us about that interplay.
Well, you know, in our college specifically, we really live that learn by doing kind of philosophy that Cal Poly Pomona has, as you know. And so our students link the classroom to the real world. You know, when they come through the classroom and they're learning all kinds of things, whether it be about ethics or critical thinking or, you know, anything in the humanities, we want to make sure that they link that directly to what's happening in the real world.
Because even if someone is an engineering major, they'll still march through your college. They have to because they're getting a BA or BS.
They are getting it, a bachelor's in arts or sciences, as you're saying, and they have to take all of their general education, which comes through our college. And we want to be that conduit so that they know how to not only function in checking off all of the right boxes, but be able to communicate, you know, as they are out there in society and be that person that can explain through oral communication exactly what's going on.
And what I love is you're doing such a good job because you have so many remarkable programs that are allowing to improve those communication skills.
We do.
When I was a college student, I was that kid who was in Model United Nations.
Oh, wow.
And I was so thrilled to read that program still exists today.
It does.
And in fact, at Cal Poly Pomona, recently the team played the role of Mexico.
Yes, it did.
And they won several awards. I'm not surprised. Talk to us about how Cal Poly Pomona wound up getting involved in Model UN and the benefits of the program.
Well, they've been doing it for many, many years. There's a long history at Cal Poly Pomona with that. We have, you know, about 18 to 20 students who participate in this, and we have a faculty member who leads them. They take classes, you know, at the university, and then they travel to New York. And these students represent, as you know, one of the countries. They've been the Philippines, they've been Spain, they've been Mexico, as you've talked about. And it's so wonderful for these students because they have to learn the history of the country, they have to learn what the culture is clearly, and how they would respond in a situation, as you know, of the Model UN.
And what I enjoyed so much about it is the ability to work on the skill of collaboration, which is so critical in a program like that.
Absolutely, and it's one of the forefront things that we, you know, do, that collaboration, that innovation through collaboration, working in teams.
Along those lines, you have another program that I think is fascinating, and it's a bioethics program. It's through a class, I guess it's a clinical ethics practicum?
Right, it's a clinical ethics practicum that happens through our philosophy department.
Okay.
You know, clearly, again, one of the humanities. And here we are, again, linking that in the classroom learning to the real world.
But what I love about the program, if I may, Doctor, is that because you do have a good number of science students, presumably a good number may be headed towards medical school.
Certainly.
And so a program like this marries their interests in a perfect way.
Right. So one of our professors takes these students and supervises them at the Pomona Valley Hospital. These students get to work right next to the doctors, right next to the nursing staff. They get to see what the impact of some of the most incredible decisions are with regards to medical ethics.
And that's the key. It's not that they're learning how to stitch someone up.
No.
It's the ethical ramifications of medical decision making.
And how it impacts not only the patient, but their families and their communities. You know, this is not just a one and done kind of thing. You know, as you know, this has greater impact. And so our students are to be involved in something like that. You know, then what happens is they're able to enter the workforce and hit the ground running because they've had experiences like this.
It's again educating through doing.
That's
and they're literally doing it there in the hospital. And my gut tells me those experiences stay with them.
Oh, they're life-changing for them.
I want to talk about another program along these lines. It's another educating by doing, and these are the judicial internship programs. I was a lawyer, and I did actual judicial clerkship, where I worked for a judge for a year. These are undergrads, so it's different, but equally as valuable.
Absolutely. So it comes out of our political science department, and of course in our college, we have the humanities, the social sciences, and the arts. And so as part of the social sciences is one of the departments is our political science department. And these students work again in the city of Pomona. They work by the judges. They're able to go into the courts, sit and watch cases as they are being held, and they get to find out firsthand how all of this works. I'm telling you, these are life-changing kinds of moments for our students, because then they get to say, wow, I am so committed to this kind of thing, and I want to make sure that I go on.
Also in the social sciences, you have a group focused on archaeology.
Yes.
And I was recently in Israel and got to be a lay archaeologist.
Fabulous.
I got to sit there and dig, and I found shards, and my neighbors who were digging next to me found bowls, and it was incredibly inspirational. And
I actually had that experience too when I was in Israel
so
too.
we probably went to the same place. There's a certain location
Right.
that allows that. And so what I wanted to speak with you about is one of your professors in your college who went to Mexico. And it looks like she brought students.
Yes, she brings students,
right.
and this is an ongoing research project that she has. So another aspect of the things that we are proud of, shall we say, is that undergraduate research element. It's,
all lines up.
Yeah. And so our students absolutely have the opportunity to go with her to actually dig at these locations, and to see the ruins, to bring them up, to understand what it really means to be a part of this kind of archaeological dig, and to work side by side with a professor who is doing research that will be published.
I have to tell you, when I literally lifted up a shard, it was just a shard, but it had an edge, so I could tell it was part. I mean, I got chills. I couldn't believe it, and I can only imagine these students.
I know.
Who are in the midst of their, their studies. Presumably, archaeology may be part of it.
Yes.
It's this educating by doing.
And when you hold something like that, all of a sudden you think back those thousands of years, and you wonder, what was it like here? I think it's just an amazing. As a matter of fact, when she sent forth her travel documents, and I was signing off on them, the first thing I wrote back to her is, "Can I come?"
+1.
Yeah.
+1. You yourself have taught music for decades.
Yes.
And so this particular project must be particularly near and dear to your heart.
Yes.
It's the John Lennon bus.
Yeah.
Explain the John Lennon bus. How did John Lennon get involved?
Well, we know John Lennon,
Of course
obviously,
we do.
and all of the wonderful things that John has done for a larger community, not just through his music, but through his being, clearly.
Right.
And one of the things that he wanted to make sure was that music was available to all. And we are located in an underrepresented kind of area, and
The
we
region,
want the region itself, and we want to make sure that music is brought to all of the children in the local communities. So the John Lennon bus actually travels throughout the country, and on the bus, students get to create a music video. They learn about creating the music, about recording the music, and then actually creating the music video. And it can happen over a day or two. That's all it will take.
Fantastic.
And so we had the opportunity of bringing that John Lennon bus to Cal Poly Pomona. And our music industry studies students especially were so jazzed by this, because
jazzed being the key word.
because that's what they do. It's part of what they're learned by doing as well. So they spent time on the bus and created a music video. And actually, one of our students was given a job to go on after that. Come on the bus and join the team.
And in our final moments, I want to mention that you had said you then took the bus to...
So then the next time the bus came here this past year, we brought it to one of the high schools in Pomona, Gary High School. And our students worked with the Gary High School students, and they created their own music video. It was so fabulous.
Her name is Dr. Iris Levine. She is the Associate Dean at Cal Poly Pomona's College of Letters, Arts, and Social Sciences. She loves her new job. I can tell. My name is Brad Pomerance. You're joining us on Local Edition.